Hey everybody! How are you? How are you? I hope you're doing good. This week, what we are going to do, we are going to focus on stories about fathers, because this coming Sunday, not today, but a week from today is Father's Day. And I have my dad's shirt on. Hi Tanya, how are you? So I have my dad's shirt on. I don't have my dad anymore, but that doesn't mean I can't cherish the memories and think about the great things that we did, especially growing up when I was little. And one memory I was telling my son about is when I had that really great motorcycle wreck out in the field next to our house. He like threw me off the motorcycle. So it's just really cool memories. I challenge you to go and make positive memories with your dads while you can, because granted, you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, so cherish every moment you can. But let's do this week a tribute to dads in the Bible. What do you think about that one? So who do you think the first dad would be? Now that's almost a trick question, but who do you think the very first dad was in the Bible? I'm not seeing any answers yet. So, if you said God, well, yes, but I'm talking about earthly dads. So, it's going to be Adam. If you think about it, Adam was the very first dad. He had Cain and Abel, right? So, let's start with the story tonight about Adam and see what we can learn about Adam and Eve. If you're not sure who Adam was, he was the first man that was ever created. God created him out of the dust of the earth. He breathed the breath of life into his lungs. And get this, you're going to be so amazed. He didn't want Adam to be lonely. So Adam took a really nice long nap, and God created Eve out of one of Adam's ribs. So, the truth is, men have one more rib than women. How cool is that? Or did I say that backwards? I think women have more ribs than men. Google that, find out, let me know which way is right, so that way I know you were paying attention. How's that one for a I'm not 100% sure answer? What do you think? So thank you for joining in tonight. I'm so excited for you to join in with me. Now let's get started. I want to challenge you with one question before we go. Where did Adam and Eve live? Do you know? Where did Adam and Eve live? And a question is, yes, he did, Tanya. Yes, he did. One of these days, I'll fill you in on that wonderful, amazing story. Whew, that was a humdinger of a story. So Adam and Eve lived in the Garden of Eden. So I'm going to jump right in here, and let's start seeing what is so cool about Adam and Eve. Are you ready? Here's some little pictures for you. With that. Okay, are we ready? The first man God made, we call Adam. God saw that the man needed a place to live, so he made for Adam a garden in Eden. In this garden, he planted every flower that is lovely to look at, and every tree whose fruit is good to eat. In the middle of the garden, God planted a special tree. This tree had a fruit that was bitter and sweet at the same time, a fruit with a taste like no other. And God said to Adam, "Of every tree in the garden you may eat as much as you want, but of this special tree you may not eat. For the day you eat the fruit of this tree, you will know about good and evil, and on that day you will die." So God was pretty serious about what he was given the rules, and I like to say he was laying down the law. So he was telling them, look, here's the way it works. You can do all these trees, all this fruit, all this stuff, just not this one. Just not this one tree. So what do you think happens? You think they said, oh, okay, that's cool. Let's find out. So Adam did as God told him. Very good, Adam. He lived peacefully in the Garden of Eden, taking care of the trees and eating their fruit. Hey, Papa Parrish. But he had no other living creature to help him. Then God looked at Adam and saw that he was lonely. It is not good for Adam to be alone, God thought. I will ask Adam which of all the creatures of the earth he would like for his helper. God brought to Adam every beast of the field and forest, every bird of the air. Adam looked at them one by one, and he actually gave each one of them a name, but found none to be his helper. Now let me stop for a second. What do you think if I would say, hey, you could have any animal you want to be a helper? How about an elephant, or a hippopotamus, or a kitty cat? What do you want to be to make you not be so lonely? And Adam's like, this is okay, but so God thought, I will make a woman for this man. Aha! That's what happened. Hi. Scared me. So then God thought, I will make a woman for this man. That night, God made Adam fall into a deep sleep. Then God took one of Adam's ribs. I told you. And from the rib, he made a woman. When Adam woke up the next morning, the woman was beside him. It wasn't a dream. It was real. And Adam said, this is my wife, Eve, who will help me and stay with me. Together, Adam and Eve lived in the garden. The days were sunny and the nights were warm, so they wore no clothing. Now, I know that sounds a little odd now, but we're getting there, okay? Just hang with me. When they were hungry, Adam and Eve walked among the trees of Eden, picking the fruits that looked ripe and sweet. But the fruit of one tree they did not touch. Adam warned Eve about this tree, just as God had warned Adam. And Eve, too, did as she was told. So right now we're saying, good job, Adam and Eve. So it sounds like everything's hunky-dory. They've got all the animals. Adam's named them all. He got a little lonely. God said, you know what? I'm going to make you a wife. And he did, out of his rib. So now everything's good. They're not eating out of the tree that God told them not to. They can do pretty much whatever they want. And so for the celebration of Father's Day coming not today, but a week from Sunday, we're focusing on Adam. He's not a dad yet, but we're getting there. Are you with me so far? I think I heard everybody say yes. Okay. Now, in the garden, there lived a serpent. Jealous beast. The happier Adam and Eve became, the more jealous the serpent felt. One afternoon, the serpent found Eve alone near the middle of the garden, where the tree with the forbidden fruit grew. I think we know how this lands, don't we? You must be hungry, the serpent said. Well, I'm going to try this tree. Its fruit looks very sweet to me. God says we may take fruit from all the trees of the garden, but this one. Eve answered, on the day we eat the fruit of this tree, God says we will die. No. Die, said the serpent. Do you know what it means to die? No, Eve answered. Does it hurt? So you got to remember, everything is perfect. They have nothing but happiness and perfection right now. This serpent's sneaky. God made you, said the serpent slyly. Why would he want to hurt you? Surely you will not die. Then the serpent saw Eve's confusion and grew bolder. Have you ever talked to somebody and you're talking to them and they're looking at you like, what? That's the same look she was given. Listen to me. This is what the serpent's saying. God knows that if you eat the fruit of this tree, your eyes will be opened and you will be like him. Then you too will know about good and evil, and you will be as wise and powerful as God himself. Now this is a picture of Adam going to sleep and waking up, and he's got a wife. We're not that lucky nowadays. We got a plan for a wedding and everything, don't we? And then here's the serpent. Okay. So this serpent's really telling some tall tales. He's being kind of dishonest, isn't he? Eve remembered everything that Adam had told her about the fruit. And she remembered God's warning not to taste it. But the serpent's words also seemed to make sense. And she could see with her own eyes that the forbidden fruit looked as ripe and sweet as any in the garden. Quickly she plucked the fruit from the tree and ate some of it. And when Adam came looking for her, she gave him some. And he tasted it too. And so both Adam and Eve ate the fruit while the serpent watched them. So that serpent's probably thinking, oh yeah, I got him now. Yes, I ruined God's plan and I've created evil. Yay! So when they finished, Adam and Eve stared at each other. Suddenly, they felt cold and afraid, and they covered their bodies with leaves. Just then, God called out across Eden, "Oh, Adam! Adam!" Adam is like shivering next to Eve, and he said nothing as they hid among the trees in the garden. Again called out, "Adam! Adam, where are you?" In a very weak, and I'd like to add probably a very tiny voice, he's like, "I hear your words, Lord, but I was afraid." And God said, "Afraid? Why are you afraid? Have you eaten the fruit I told you not to eat?" So what does Adam say? "The woman you made to be my wife, she gave me the fruit and I ate it." Great. So the guy blames the girl. Like, hang on a minute. But it's true, right? It's true. She did eat it first. And God said to Eve, "What have you done?" "The serpent tricked me, and I ate the fruit," Eve said. Then all Eden shook with God's great anger. So here she is eating the apple, and here's Eden getting, oh, not so beautiful right now, is it? He's getting ugly. To the serpent he said, now this, remember we talked about how the serpent thinks, oh, okay, so I've tricked him, and I'm good, and I'm able to ruin God's plan for perfection. He said, "Hey, listen here. Because you have done this, I will make you the lowest of all beasts. On your belly you shall crawl. Now and always you shall eat dust all the days of your life." Oof. The serpent fell to the ground and slithered away. To Eve he said, "Because you were fooled by the serpent, you will know pain and sorrow for the first time." Hearing this, Eve shuddered and drew closer to Adam. She wanted her husband. She was like, "Help me, protect me, be here for me," right? Then God spoke to Adam, and he said, "Because you have disobeyed me and eaten the forbidden fruit, you shall work hard all day for your bread." That's why a lot of people say the man should be the breadwinner, because he had to work hard for his bread, right? The earth will be dry, tough, and full of weeds, and your body will ache from pulling them out. So that means he's going to have to work really, really hard for his whole life. Nor will your work end until the day you are buried. For from dust I made you, and to dust you shall return. To both Adam and Eve, God said, "Because you wanted to be like me, knowing both good and evil, you must leave this garden I made for you." God made coats of animal skins to cover Adam and Eve and protect them, for bitter winds were blowing outside Eden. Then God sent Adam and Eve out of the garden. Behind them he placed angels and a flaming sword that turned every way and blocked the path to the garden forever. And so the first man and the first woman made their way into the world. So here is the angel with the sword, right here, protecting the garden. And here's Adam and Eve walking away with the clothes that God had made. It says that he had made coats of animal skins to cover them. So now we're talking about Adam and Eve settling in a land east of Eden. And there, Adam worked the soil, bringing forth herbs and grain for them to eat. So even though he was punished because he didn't obey God, he's still learning how to provide for himself. It's a lot harder though, right? So when you do something wrong, we get punished, and it just would have been a whole lot easier. We just did the right thing. But Adam's out working like he was instructed to do. Soon Eve gave birth to a boy, whom they called Cain. That's where we get to the father part. In time, Adam and Eve had a second son, whose name was Abel. So their firstborn was Cain, and their secondborn was Abel. So we're going to stop there tonight, because I wanted to give you a little bit of the background of who Adam and Eve were, which I know you probably know, but there might be somebody out there who doesn't. It was the first man and the first woman ever created on the earth, and they had everything perfect, but they just didn't listen to God, did they? They listened to that little tiny voice that was trying to lead them the wrong way. I urge you and beg of you to pray and listen to God's voice. Pray that God will give you wisdom and guidance and strength and knowledge, and that you will follow what He has planned for your life. You've got your whole life ahead of you. What are you going to do with it? The first thing you need to do is serve God. And if you pray for wisdom, He will grant that to you. So, what do you think? Adam was the first dad. First man, first dad. Hey, what do you think about that? Who was the firstborn son? Do you remember? I don't see anybody. Cain. The firstborn son was Cain. So Adam was our very first dad, but the first son named Cain, the secondborn was Abel, and you are going to hear the rest of this story tomorrow night. So, thank you for sharing just a little bit of your evening with me. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to just, oh, Paula got it, Cain! I bet, was that Robbie that answered that? I'm going to guess it might have been Robbie that answered that. That's correct answer. Thank you for paying attention. Virtual hug, yay! Thank you. You guys have a wonderful evening. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Pinterest. And don't forget our email address is info, I-N-F-O, @theboldmovement.com. Way to go, Robbie. And I want you to know that I'm proud of you for being with us. I'm proud of you for having a desire to want to learn more about God's Word and to join in every night. Thank you for what you do to support the Bold Movement. We love it. And I want to tell you to be faithful, be patient, be kind, pray for wisdom, but above all, go out and be bold. That's right. Go out and be bold. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow night at 7:30. Take care. I'll talk to you then. Bye.